Hi, it's Dave Dinkel. I'm here with your 2-minute tip. Sure. Okay, so here it is. The question is, can I make more money rehabbing than I can wholesaling? The answer is yes and no. What do I mean by that? Nancy and I rehabbed for 25 years. We've been through a couple of real boom and bust markets where properties dropped in value 50%. So can you do it? Well, obviously there's tens of thousands of investors who only do rehabbing and love rehabbing. And the answer is, of course you can. But now let's do the flip side. Depending on how much money you make as a wholesaler, it's theoretically absolutely impossible for you to make more money than the guys that you're wholesaling the property to. Now, that's going to be another lightning rod windstorm of that's stupid. But the reality is it's not. And many of my students who start out wholesaling and do very well decide, hey, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cherry pick the very best properties, I'm going to go for the rehabs on them, or I'm going to keep them as landlords. And okay, that's a natural thing to do. Keeping them as landlords is really pretty simple because it's a bottom line, cap rate, expenses, so on and so forth. You know what's going on. You know what you paid. However, keeping rental properties is frankly rather simple in the sense that you know what your income should be, you know what the expected expenses are, things happen, but nonetheless, it's okay. However, on rehabbing, the place that most people go wrong almost immediately is they look at the highest comps in the area and they say, I can get that. I can do a rehab that will get me that amount of money. That's like comparing apples to oranges. I'm warning you ahead of time. Even in a subdivision where every cookie cutter home is the same, you don't know that the one that sold for 25% more than the rest of them didn't have a $50,000 kitchen instead of a $10,000 kitchen. Or it was mortgage fraud and it doesn't show that in the public record. It only shows the sale price. So normally what happens, a new student making tons of money wholesaling gets into his first or her first rehab, starts on it and decides, hey, I didn't know that I would have to replace that. That's not in my budget. Doesn't matter. When the floor is sloping, you got to fix the slope. Whatever it is, you need to do it. Then you come to the question of, well, how much do I do? And by the way, the guys I hired, they haven't showed up for weeks. They show up, they have the most creative excuses in the world. People all around them, it was one handyman, and he had 3 different jobs going on. He didn't show up. And I talked to the 3 students that were using him at the same time, and it turns out his brother died, his mother died, and his father died, none of which died. So it's like they have a book of excuses. I don't know, you'll find out. So they don't show up. Now, you ran over on budget, you can't get the end price you wanted, and oh, by the way, you have an expense called hard money. So here's what happens. When somebody comes to me and they do a mentor app, I have some questions on there. What would you like to do? Wholesale, buy your own home, rehab, landlord. The ones who do rehab, I tell them, here's the way you can be successful. Do not stop wholesaling, because when you start rehabbing, unless you have a lot of money behind you, you're going to be doing 1 or 2 or 3 houses, because that's the money you have with a hard money lender, or the money you have if you're a cash buyer. Now, when do you sell them? Well, you sell them as quickly as you can, but what if they don't sell? Well, if it's hard money, it will kill you. I am closing out a hard money loan very soon. It was over a year and 3 months. Now, that investor that took it, I said to him when he did it, you can wholesale it and make 40 grand. He said, I can, but I'm going to rehab it and I think I can make 100.5. I said to him, great, what are you going to put it out at? I'm going to put it out at this price. And I said to him, it's 100,000 too high. And the response I got was one right down the block sold for this, one over here sold for that. And I said to him, no, those are not the same house or even close to it. He said, but I'm going to fix it. I'll create equity in the house. Okay. So now, as I walk away with a real chunk of change, he's going to walk away losing money. The question is only how much will he lose? And it's going to be substantial. Is that fair to him? Yes, it's fair to him because he didn't listen. So don't get yourself caught up in, I can get the highest price, I can do this, I can do that. Get yourself caught up in, do it as quickly as possible, do it right, and market the devil out of it. And that doesn't mean just put it on the MLS. That's not real marketing. It helps, but do a flat fee listing so you only have to pay half the commission. So let's get back. The question was, how do you do it right? The way you do it right is you figure out how to wholesale so you can make money consistently. It gives you a cash flow. One of the things I see happening with the rehabbers, they come to me and say, look, I've got $180,000 in equity as soon as I sell these. I say, wonderful, what are you calling me for? I need $15,000 to make payroll. Oh. Or I need $12,000 to make my interest payment to my hard money lender this month. Real cases. So what do? It doesn't matter what I do. They're the ones that are stuck. If I say no or somebody else says no, they're going to lose their properties. Remember, hard money lenders are predatory lenders for a reason. They want your property. They'll tell you, I don't want to do rehabs. They don't want to do rehabs. They want your property so they can resell them to somebody else to do the rehabs. Look, I'm talking fast in these videos because I have a 2-minute time limit. That's working out really pretty well for these 2-minute tips. But look, yes, you can make more money literally as a wholesaler than you can as a rehabber, especially in areas where the prices of the homes are less than $150,000 that you're going to do. You have to get larger profits on the wholesale deals, and you have to keep doing them and doing them. Are there enough deals out there? There are too many deals. You learn how to get them, you'll learn there are too many deals. But if you want to be a rehabber, you love the idea of I'm going to return homes to the community and help people, keep wholesaling so you have a cash flow and don't go out of business. Well, once again, 2 minutes doesn't just seem like enough time. Thanks very much, though.